What is going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the FantasyAlarm MLB DFS Playbook Preview Show. We're looking at the Wednesday 10-game main slate that starts at 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time. You have a four-game day baseball slate. So for those of you who are trying to get some in on that action, you can get in our Discord. We'll have some advice for you guys there to set your lineups for the day slate, but the playbook and the live stream and the content will all be focused on the main slate starting at 6:35. The Tuesday slate was Bizarro World. Everything you thought was going to happen basically in reverse occurred. Boston was the offense of the day. Absolutely got two. Ryan Pepio. Alex Bregman, 5 for 5, 2 homers. And then not playing on Wednesday because his wife is giving birth. So, congratulations.
Congrats to the Bregmans.
The Bregmans. But had we known that there was future dad strength power in the mix here, we might have been a little less in on Pepio. Listen, the field was in on Ryan Pepio as well. He's up over 20%. Jeffrey Springs, first inning, gives up 3 runs to the White Sox. Settles down, but that basically blew out his pitch count. So he only went 5 in that game. Tyler Mahle, Yusei Kikuchi, that game had like a 9-run total. They go through 7 shutout, 6 shutout each, whatever it was. So yes, these days happen. It is baseball, James. The best hitters go 1 for 3, and today most of the best hitters did worse than that. So we turn the page, and we now focus on this 10-game Wednesday slate to get it all back. And I will say this: it's not a great slate. There's some questionable pitching options that we're going to have to navigate the waters through here today.
It may not be a great slate, John, but you know what? You know why I'm going to remain positive?
Why is that?
I had free Chipotle today.
Okay.
And there are a few things in this world that I like more than the phrase free Chipotle. In fact, that just really gets me going. And
I've still never set foot in Chipotle in my life.
I'm still super disappointed in you, and that's okay. We will forgive you for your mistakes, and we'll move on to this slate that, maybe it's not the best slate. Maybe there's not a lot of good pitching.
It is Patrick Corbin Day.
But it is a holiday for us. No, it is not Easter, but it is Patrick Corbin Day.
Yeah.
So let's get into this thing.
We'll go position by position we usually do for those of you who are new to the show, and we'll build a lineup at the end of the show. So make sure you stay tuned, hit that like, that share, that subscribe button. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let us know who your favorite pitchers are. Who do you think is going to hit a home run? Your favorite stack, your value. If you have any questions throughout the day, just throw them in the comment section. Grande and I will be there to help you guys out until our 5 p.m. live stream. Aaron Nola is your top price starter at $9,000. He's kind of not been great, though. He gets the San Francisco Giants, who have been striking out a decent bit this year. Soriano is your second highest price starter. He's been good. Gets Texas against Patrick Corbin. They may be favorite. We'll see. Brandon Pfaadt, a guy you and I both like, the upside, the potential. He has Miami at 87. We have Bryce Miller against Cincinnati at $8,500. Bubik, Gavin Williams, Meyer, and Ray finish out the AK tier. I kind of just clumped that whole group together because very few of them are in like good spots to use. I think maybe we would go Brandon Pfaadt against Miami, but Miami's been sort of a frustrating team early on. They really don't strike out all that much. They have a couple of guys and Kyle Stowers and Matt Mervis where you go look at their stack hat pages right now and they're all nice and bright and red and to the right. So what are your thoughts really on like the top half of this pitching position?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, Nola is in a spot against a team that strikes out a lot. Like you said, 25% strikeout rate against righties. They're also 5th in ISO. And Aaron Nola is a guy who gives up home runs. So that's obviously a little bit of a concern. Yeah, I mean, having to face Jung-Hoo Lee is a concern enough, but the San Francisco offense is powerful. And I think a lot of their lineup prefers to hit righties, outside of probably Heliot Ramos, but like most of everyone else is very good against righty. So I'm good with Nola because the strikeout upside, but obviously it's one of those things where home runs could be a factor. To your Soriano, if Soriano is a favorite point, he is slightly, ever so slightly favorite, minus 112 to Patrick Corbin's minus 104. So he is a very slight favorite. You know, has been really good against Tampa, and the White Sox was really bad against the Guardians. Texas is a good offense. When he keeps the ball on the ground, he's good. I'm okay with it. 9.5 implied runs, I think, leads the slate at current. Yeah, 9.5 leads the slate. So keep that in mind. It's obviously Patrick Corbin's on the other side of things.
I mean, you mentioned the ground balls, but these are like elite ground ball numbers.
Yeah.
14 and 11 ground balls. So
it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm definitely most interested in Fought because he is a good pitcher. Obviously the strikeouts have been a little bit frustrating because we haven't gotten them. Everything else has been okay. The home runs, scary. Another guy who's allowing a lot of home runs.
Yeah.
And you just mentioned Miami has a couple guys that are really popping, and a couple guys that aren't really hitting home runs, but that are always on base. Xavier Edwards and Otto Lopez just always on base. So
it's early season, so obviously we talk sample sizes all the time. So against lefties, they're not striking out at all. Against righties, their strikeout numbers are actually rising pretty quickly to the point that they actually now have the second highest strikeout rate. I swear I did a playbook the other day and they were like middling, but now they're up to 26% strikeout rate against right-handed pitching. 117 ISO, 306 WOBA, still 240 average, which compared to the league is kind of in the middle where all the rest of those numbers are. I like the 6 innings. I like the 90+ pitches for Brandon Fought, right? If you just keep the ball in the ballpark.
Yep.
Definitely a good spot for him here.
That would probably be the guy I'd go to. Really tough time going to Bryce Miller on the road. We've seen that.
Yeah, in Cincinnati as the road park too.
Yeah, we've seen that before. Chris Bubich has possibly been the most interesting story of the early campaign, at least as a pitcher, because he's another failed starter turned reliever going back to starter land, and he looks awesome. I'm curious to see if anyone plays him because the Yankees hit more home runs against lefties than basically anybody other than the Athletics. They have a 258 team ISO. Team ISO, 258. Yeah. That is crazy. So I don't think anyone plays Bubich here. I'm assuming when we open up and start looking at things for tomorrow, the Yankees have some of the highest implied run totals of the board, if not the highest. And like, that's scary because this guy has been super good in 3 starts. So on a slate where there's like a lot of bad pitching, I'd be okay with it. They still strike out a bunch, 24% strikeout rate when you round up against lefties. So, you know, a lot of home run power, but it's the same thing we talk about the Yankees every night, right? It's like they strike out a lot. They also they could hit like they did on Tuesday. They hit 4 solo shots, or they did on Monday. They hit 4 solo shots, and you're like, oh, okay. We had the message from Mark. Shout out Mark. He's like, Seth Lugo was rolling until he wasn't. And then it was 4 home runs. And you're like, oh, right. That's the Yankees. So that's the scary part with Bubich. Gavin Williams just hasn't looked great. I know the strikeouts were there last game, but it was the White Sox. Is he going to have that same success against Baltimore?
Yeah.
I tell you, pitch Max Meyer every start. I'm like, yo, the kid is just talented. Didn't matter. Like that last slate was a bad pitching slate too, and we went to him and he was great.
This isn't that spot though.
This is not the spot. This is
Arizona on the year, 18% strikeout rate, almost a 12% walk rate, a 222 ISO against right-handed pitching, a 367 WOBA against right-handed pitching. Not the day for Max Meyer here.
Agreed.
Work your way down. I said before we went live, like it feels like a Mitchell Parker could be a spot that we go to here. Two great starts against Philadelphia. Arizona faces Miami, is actually the one team that gives them a little bit of trouble of all things here. But as I said, Miami against lefties, not striking out. Pittsburgh this year against left-handed pitching, kind of the same. 29% strikeout rate, like highest in the league, 198 average. This feels like a good spot to target Mitchell Parker against Pittsburgh here, just given how poor they've been. And he's $7,900. So I think we're going to see more of the same like this and less of this sort of struggle against a team like Miami.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it going into that Miami start. The peripheral numbers looked bad for Mitchell Parker. And I'm not saying he pitched fine, but not from a fantasy perspective, right? In real life baseball, he got you a quality start, third straight start that he registers a quality outing. The strikeouts have obviously been a little bit of a concern. 10 strikeouts through his first 18 and a third.
Yep. But you look at the teams that he's faced, right? So Arizona's dead last in strikeouts against left-handed pitching at 13%. Right.
It's criminal.
Miami, as we talked about, 19%, 25th against left-handed pitching. Philadelphia is 25%. In Philadelphia, he had his most strikeouts at 5. So, you got your 23 fantasy point game and a win where he shut him out and threw. Like, that could be here. Pittsburgh with a 29% strikeout rate, 198 average, 091 ISO, 252 WOBA. It's all kind of lining up to potentially be a Mitchell Parker day.
Okay. Sign me up. I'm with you. I'm
on a slate
I'm on
like
board.
this, we're kind of just grasping for straws.
Yep.
The biggest thing of the day is going to be how many people click the Bobby Miller button.
Just because the Rockies.
Just because 20% were playing Landon Knack on
and he is
or Tuesday.
I think Landon Knack's probably the better pitcher, which is not saying a lot, but like given what they've both been, right? Landon Knack has probably been better.
20% was playing a Landon Knack that hadn't thrown more than 37 pitches in his
season. But he hasn't. I mean, what is your without factoring in ownership? He's maxed out at 90 pitches in the minors this year, so he's like obviously he's stretched out enough. What is your take on Bobby Miller in this spot? I mean,
he hasn't been a good major league pitcher.
He is not by any stretch of the.
He's been a very good minor league pitcher.
Yes.
At some point, do those guys ever make the leap? Is the question we're obviously, trying to figure out. His rookie year, 2023, was actually pretty decent. 11-4, 22 starts.
Yep.
3.76 ERA. The FIP was 3.75. You're like, all right, there's something here. And then last year, he was just downright awful.
Horrible.
The minor league numbers this year, 2.25 ERA, but a 6.46 xFIP. He's an 8 walks per 9.
It's impossible. And now he has to, and that's navigating in the minors. I know the Rockies aren't the most stout offense, but like they're still a major league.
He made 2 starts at single A, and he had a 9 ERA this year.
Verdict doesn't seem very good, John.
I don't know why they're throwing him into this game.
Because it's the Rockies? Do you think it's just like that simple?
I guess so. 3 starts at AAA this year. Sorry, the single A stars last year. The 3 starts at AAA this year, like you said, 2.25 ERA, but a 6.46 xFIP and an 8 walks per 9. Like, I think people are going to click it because he's going to be a big favorite, and it is the Rockies. But I don't know, man. I'm scared.
He is. Do you want to know? Do you want to hear what kind of favorite the Dodgers are in this game?
Are they minus 250?
Higher.
300?
310.
310. Like Steamer projections, if you go to Fangraphs, has him with like a 3.8 ERA rest of season if he was to like play. Right. Now, granted, these are bullpen numbers for him, so I guess that's kind of helping. Yeah, it's very scary. He's not been a good pitcher, man. Could he skirt those metrics against Colorado in LA? Probably. So, but if 20% of the field plus is playing Bobby Miller tomorrow, I will not. If he is like a 3% roster, I would consider him as like a 3 max play.
Would you in those scenarios probably you're just pivoting to Mitchell Parker?
Yeah, Mitchell Parker for sure. I also think, I understand how bad like Bailey Falter's been this year, but the numbers for the Nats against lefties are also not good. Maybe this is like a game you take the under. He's also at Cincinnati against the Yankees. So you talked about with their team ISO, and then Miami, who doesn't strike out at all against left-handed pitching. So maybe he's just also gotten a little bit of a bad run of matchups here. But Washington this year, 31.1% strikeout rate versus left-handed pitching. They do have a 307 WOBA and a 160 ISO, so good numbers there, 240 average, fine. But 31% strikeout rate against lefties is pretty brutal.
It's bad. It's bad. I'm a little indifferent there, but like I get it because we're also looking for value. I was actually gonna mention Osvaldo Bido, and I'm not a fan of Osvaldo Bido.
I said it. You got called out in our live stream chat for downplaying Osvaldo Bido in that first start.
Well, he didn't do anything look at the fly balls were still there, and all the peripheral stats. He's just skirting by the 9 hits, 6 hits, 8 base runners in each of the last 2 games, and he's allowed 2 earned or less. It's not exactly stellar pitching, so salute to those that want to defend Osvaldo Bido. I feel like we should take stances on maybe other pitchers, but in this matchup, White Sox are bad. 105 team ISO, 27th, 586 OPS as a team against right-handed pitching, 29th, 23% strikeout rate. The fly balls are going to hurt him, like I've said all along. The peripheral numbers are going to hurt him. Like I said from the start, I'm not going to change my tune because he beat the Rockies and the Mariners. But, 9 hits against, it's like the Senzatella thing all over again. 9 hits and you allow 2 runs against the Padres.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a new matchup for Osvaldo Bido. Now, there were 20-mile-an-hour winds on blowing out, right?
Yeah.
On the Tuesday slate. So it's something to monitor with a game in Chicago, just in general. Any Chicago wind game, Wrigley obviously is different than the White Sox ballpark, but if it's going to blow out, the A's put up 13 runs. Like there were 16 runs scored in that game. So just keep that in mind as well.
Agreed. After that, I don't really think there's anything overly appealing here.
No.
Dean Creamer versus Cleveland. Everybody liked Charlie Morton on the Tuesday slate. Cleveland bats scored some runs there.
Yep.
Not a Jonathan Cannon fan. We're not going to do Patrick Corbin, Newcomb, Marquette. I think Bido is probably the lowest I'd go. What's your take on Clark Schmidt?
This would be a great spot if he's going to throw enough pitches, but he's just not going to. He only threw 61 pitches in his final rehab, and he looked really good. He's a really good pitcher. Yep. He was really good last year. He's going to throw. I'd be surprised just because it was the arm, right? Like shoulder injury, first start of the year, 70 pitches would probably be my guess. So it's a great spot. If you get 7, if Clark Schmidt, if you had a crystal ball, John, and you saw 5 scoreless, 6 strikeouts out of Clark Schmidt, would you play him on the slate?
Yeah.
Because in that he's winning. He's
winning the game. So you probably get 15 fantasy points out of that.
Yeah, I would too. I don't know if obviously that's quite the impressive start. Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen, but I would too, but I can't see more than 70 pitches out of Schmidt tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, catcher. Again, we generally look to go for the cheapest play. Danny Jansen has power versus lefties. You have Newcomb there. If you're not a Bally Miller guy, I think maybe Sack in Colorado could be a way to go. You'll have a hobby's out, so maybe Darno versus Corbin, 31.
It's a good one. He's going to be so popular.
Yeah, he was chalky on the Tuesday slate,
and he hit 5th, right? So
Yeah.
like, if he's going to hit 5th or just anywhere in that range, he's going to be super popular.
Agreed. So we'll see what the starting lineups come out. We'll have them when we do our live show. But those are certainly some value targets. If you wanted to spend up, you certainly can. Langoliers versus Cannon, another big night out of him. Kyler against Falter at 43, good against lefties. Those will all play up. Cal Raleigh today hit a ball 404 feet and flew out.
Darn.
Nick Martinez could be in trouble there with Cal Raleigh. So
yeah.
Happy to get 30. You get an under 4K Cal Raleigh. You're gonna talk about an under 4K home run guy.
It's true. It's a great ballpark too for him.
It's almost 3 straight games. He's under 4K.
Was 3? Did homer games. Homer.
And in his home ballpark, not even a good ballpark. So
yep.
You get double dong upside at $3,900. I feel like clicking that button could be good. First base. A lot of options for us here. Where do we? You mentioned the wind. If the wind's blowing out in Chicago, you going back to Tyler Soderstrom?
Yes. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your league leader in home runs.
2 homers today.
8. What's the? So yeah, 6 RBIs too. What's the league lead in RBIs? He won't be league lead, but it'll be top 5. Wilmer Flores and Aaron Judge both have 20 to lead the league. So, yeah, if the wind's blowing out, I'm just going to play Tyler Soderstrom. This isn't going
to Darling.
This isn't even going to have the home. Is this going to have the home runs?
Not tonight. No, this is before today.
No, it shows. Well, it's weird because it shows the 8.
Oh, maybe it will. On the left. You're right. Maybe it does. Maybe it's updated because the game is completed. But yeah, great numbers for Tyler Soderstrom. I don't know where they came from. I mean.
Well,
I guess technically last year that he wasn't that bad either. Bat speed was legit. All these numbers were great. He just didn't have the at bats to qualify. So
he didn't play. He got hurt. Isn't that you said it to start the year? Former first round pick, right? Soderstrom. Yeah. So
dude, he was top 100 prospect. He was the number 1 prospect in their org last year when he got called up. So
we've seen this a bunch this year. People are starting to hit.
He also had catcher eligibility. Remember?
He did have the catcher eligibility too. Well, good thing he lost that because I feel like we would never play him.
Well, he was a $2,000 catcher. We played him a lot.
The 2000. No, yes. I'm saying I'm happy now he does not have that because we would never play him now.
Agreed.
It's a position. It's the puntiest position on the board.
Yeah, I'm pulling up Dean Creamer's numbers here just to see what his splits look like. Manzardo's another guy with just like ridiculous light tower power. Lefties versus Creamer. They cream him. 722 slug this year. Left-handed bats against Dan Creamer. 389, 486 WOBA. 4.7 homers per 9 allowed. He's allowed 4 homers already to left-handed hitters. So
there's a lot of home runs. What were we looking at? What were we looking at last year for Creamer?
Much better numbers. Still a 400 slug, but 221 average. He got lit up in 2023 by lefties.
Okay.
344, 467 slug, 350 WOBA. Again, obviously small sample sizes, but 40 batters faced. He's given up 14 hits and 4 homers. So those are just some big fly numbers there for, again, Manzardo not making a whole lot of contact early this year, but a lot of power. Another top prospect guy. Certainly don't mind it. Josh Naylor homered tonight. Another couple of hits for him, hitting for average, hitting for power, driving in runs. If you're not in on Mayer, you can go there in the mid-range.
Goldie too. Goldie's raking. The power hasn't been there, but a lot of extra base hits, and he keeps hitting.
Santana will hit from the left side. Unfortunately, our guys, Aranda and Rice, both have the lefty-lefty matchups. Newcomb.
But you know what? You could play Yandy.
Yes, you could play Nate.
Yandy's been good.
You know why? You know why he's been good, right? Someone in our Roto League picked him up. So
Okay, got it.
That's what happens. Not me.
Yeah.
Just someone who just always has good performances out of players. Yanni's fine. I also don't think Newcomb's long for this league, so this game rather. So you could if they don't put Mead in or somebody like that over Aranda, you think you could still play that. Or Hearn versus Gavin Williams, 39. Let's see.
I like the Spencer Steer price. He has obviously been a corpse.
Yeah, he's been so
bad.
He got hurt. Remember, he missed a lot of spring.
He did.
So that could be the ramp problems as well.
Yeah.
Josh Bell will hit from the right side. Luke Raley with some power from the left side at 3,200. Again, we like.
Just say Mervis' name so we can because the Fought stuff is the lefties last year, right? Lefties against Brandon Fought last year, 178 ISO, 348 WOBA.
And again, like not as great as some of the other pages, but like these exit velocity, barrel percentage, hard hit rate, bat speed.
Yeah, if he hits it, when he hits it, he's barreling every single thing and it's leaving the yard.
He's absolutely smashing. So like I said, we'll go get the Kyle Stowers too in the outfield, but Mervis and Stowers is a little 1-2 stack. If you're not going Fought, which we probably will be, can do Krishna Encarnacion on Strand. We know there's a lot of power.
There's nothing else
here. Rowdy.
There's Tolia again. If you want to just
I'm waiting for him. He was our Statcast darling last year. He didn't.
Wait. I have a question for you here. Maybe I do have one. Could we see JD Davis start against Patrick Corbin at $2,900?
Playing over whom?
Shanwell? Or is he going to play at third?
I guess it's possible.
JD Davis at
third we know base? We'll get Rengifo. We're going to play Rengifo second when we get there.
Trout?
Yeah, I guess it's possible. We know he didn't really hit lefties last year, though, right? Like when he's with the Yankees and wherever else he played last year.
Well, he didn't hit. I don't know how many hits he even had as a whole last year. Like he was not good.
But 2 years prior he was like elite against lefties. So
he was.
I guess we'll see.
He was. I'm just
because they played. Well, they played. Right. Yeah.
They played Rengifo at third, Kyron Paris at second on the Tuesday slate, and Shanwell 0 for 4.
But lefty back in this yet? Soon?
No, not yet. Tim Anderson still. I guess if they're 4 for 5 with 2 home runs.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I've been tracking him. He's been hammering it. So all right. Well, all right. We'll see what JD Davis does at second base. As I mentioned, our guy. Rengifo is down here at 38. Just historically good numbers against lefties.
Yes.
Would be a hard non-click for me not to click that.
Agreed.
McLean came back. $5,300 for him though. If you wanted to spend that, it's a pretty penny.
That's a pretty penny. I mean, I think we like the player and the mat. Honestly, I wish there was more to like him in Cincinnati. No, because Ellie, we're gonna obviously like Ellie. It might be, you know what? And I learned that I learned it the hard way the other night, John, when I stacked the Royals against Carrasco. You know what the play in that whole thing was?
No.
Because their team sucked, and except one player, Bobby Witt, homered, right? Might just be a situation where we want to play Reds and we want to force it, but don't force it and just play Ellie and just as your one-off, because you can't make a bad offense good. Despite a pitcher, a bad pitcher.
But they did get help. So they got Austin Hayes back today. He homered. They got McLean back today. So I mean that offense is at least a little better.
No, I agree. I shouldn't crap on it too hard. I'm just saying
it's also not great that Austin Hayes is back and we're excited about it, but
right.
It's they added a 20 homer bat at least to their lineup.
Yeah, they also added Matt McLean, who's $5,300.
I know. Probably can't click. Christian Campbell still hitting the ball really well. Would go that against Littell if you wanted to. As I mentioned, though, Renchifo's our guy. I understand this year the numbers so far and just 9 plate appearances aren't great. But every other year, by the way, this man has been stellar. 352, 324, 315 batting average the last 3 seasons. 897, 928, 909 OPS. Just a 148 ISO last year in 58 games, but 216 and 255 ISOs. The year before that is Woba's around 400 for the last 3 seasons against left-handed pitching. So plenty to like about a $3,800 Luis Rengifo here.
Never, ever have seen a slate that I don't play Luis Rengifo against a lefty.
We're going to have maybe a little bit of trouble here. Well, maybe not, because Edmundo Sosa also hits lefties really well. I guess one plays at second and one will play at third for us on this slate.
Yeah, we have the flexibility.
Sosa's numbers are so. Rumor was they were benching Marsh to get Sosa in the lineup, and then Marsh played today. Still, so
they literally told the media that he was going to sit the next 3 games.
Didn't do it.
Brandon Marsh, and then played the first game.
That did not happen. Last season, Sosa 229 ISO. The year before that, 216. The year before that, 207. So a lot of big power numbers. This year, again, only 14 plate appearances. He is 5 for 14 with 5 singles. But you know what? That's still a 357 batting average. So can't be too complaining there. Anything else for you?
You could punt Gavin Lux, 33, hits in the middle of that Reds order. But I don't think there's anything else that we really need to talk about.
Third base we go. As I mentioned, you can play Rengifo or Sosa here if you wanted to save some money. Otherwise, you have Jose Ramirez against Creamer. We mentioned the lefty numbers against Creamer. Ramirez will hit from the left side of the plate in this matchup. Devers had a double tonight. You think he's waking up against Littell. Caminero versus Newcomb feels like it could be a ball planted in the seats here at $4,500 as well.
Yeah, really far, like super far into like way into like Raymond James Stadium where the Bucks
Newcomb's 89 mile an hour fastball. I don't think is going to play up here.
No. And Junior Caminero has some of the loudest hits of all time, and he will hit the furthest home run of of a year soon. Like he will hit a 500-foot home run in his career.
Yes, I agree.
Might be this in career. It might be in this game. Physically, might just hit 500. So yeah, we're gonna go back to the well.
All right. So that's the mid range. Again, we mentioned already that you can play Rengifo or Sosa here.
Well, I got one more for the mid range.
All right,
Jorge Polanco. He gets the hit from the left side.
Sure,
dude.
Strong side in Cincinnati. I like it.
He's been great to start the year.
Don't we talk about this all the time too? Like guys who are switch hitters but have like a significantly worse other side that they hit from.
Yeah.
And now this guy's forced to hit only lefty, and he's hitting 380 with 1,000 OPS.
Yeah. I mean he's again they're cheap. Like Raleigh, really cheap. Yes. Polanco, really cheap. So we haven't even looked at the J-Rod price, but the Mariners look really good. Nick Martinez not very good.
No, Nick Martinez is not very good at all. I'm checking the splits for Blanco because I'm like pretty sure he is bad versus lefties. Excuse me, lefties. Actually, this year he's only limited sample size, but he was a little bit better versus the left-handed pitching. He's I can't even say he's been consistently good. He's had 2 years where he's hit over 300 from the right side, and then 2 years where he's hit under 250 from the right side. So he just decides, to go
good year, bad year, good year, bad year, good year, bad year.
Basically, can never peg him. All right, other value plays. Brian Hayes is generally good against lefties. Josh Smith hits everybody, as you've pointed out. They could start Curtis Mead here at $3,400. Again, if you're anti Bobby Miller, McMahon's 32. Arias is a switch hitter. No, he's a righty. Who's that? Is it Rocchio? Is he the switch hitter? They have another infielder that's a switch hitter on their team.
Rocchio hits, I think, from just the left side,
Okay.
I want to say. But I could also... Yeah, you're right. Switch hitter.
Okay. So they'll have some guys from the left side there. What else do we have here at third for you? Any notables?
No.
Okay. Shortstop then. It's position to spend.
It is.
Where's the spend?
All of them.
Okay.
And any of them. I mean, it is like, I really mean that too. Is there a wrong answer? Corey Seager and up?
No. I don't think so. I mean, Volpe I probably wouldn't play.
Why? He hits home runs against lefties only.
Yeah,
he can't hit anybody.
Bubik's been good.
He has been good. Just saying. The only person he does hit is lefties. Don't do this again. Okay. Just say yes. I would play everyone because the last time Jazz hit a home run. Just
all right. Yes.
Cover your tracks.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. You don't have to say Volpe. I'd play him in a Yankee stack because he hits lefties. All he can do is hit lefties at Yankee Stadium. And by the way, Yankee Stadium is now officially number 1 in baseball per Baseball Savant for home runs.
Yeah.
Which it has not been in the last 2 years, but they're number 1 in home runs. So I think Ellie at home, I know he's been bad, would probably be number 1 because you also get Bryce Miller away from home. But I truthfully don't know if there's a wrong answer from Corey Seager up.
That's fine.
And I probably should include Geraldo Perdomo in there, 2023 All-Star, because he also homered again.
He did
on the Tuesday slate. So yep. I mean,
Xavier Edwards will hit from the left side, and with a righty of the mound, there's stolen base potential here.
Dude, Trevor Story has been like one of the best stories in baseball this year.
I mean, I wouldn't say one of the best stories, but I understand. I understand where you're going with. He is healthy.
He's healthy.
So
yeah, healthy. It's been a healthy story.
Let's see here.
Adames home run upside just because Nola righty home run, all that.
Let's see here. Jacob Wilson, I like just as a play. Jackson Holiday is some value. Mentioned Rocchio again. Numbers obviously aren't great, but he's expected to be a talented player. So there's some left side at bats for him there. Anything else for you?
No. This would typically be like $2,800 JP Crawford range, but I can't do it.
That's fair. Outfield then. Like another position where you just kind of pick your poison and just plug him into your lineup. Trout versus Corbin, Soler versus Corbin, Ward versus Corbin, all going to be plays that will
Corbin versus Meyer.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Corbin versus Meyer.
You know,
Ohtani, Judge, Rooker. You know, all those guys. James would have hit a ball that still hasn't landed today. I know it's gonna be lefty,
but went really far.
You can go there if you want.
Jaron Duran did too, by the way.
Steve Kwan homered today.
He did homer.
Lefty bat against Dean Creamer there.
As did Jaron Duran. And if we remember Zach Littell's last start, there was Littell resistance. A 7 earned and 4 home runs against the Angels. That was the slate I messaged you, Carlucci and Keith, and I said I think we should like the Angels. And none of us played enough Angels. I don't think.
Not none of us. No, their entire outfield hit 2 homers each.
Their entire outfield hit 2 home runs. And
you mentioned the Lee price bump here, up to 4,800, but he's been awesome. Ballpark upgrade, not being in San Francisco, has helped him plenty.
Yep.
If there's a tragic world event tomorrow, Nick Castellanos faces a lefty at $4,800.
I will be checking the stock market price tomorrow morning.
Yeah, exactly. Willier, obviously, power from the left side. Can play Friedel leading off for that Cincinnati offense. What else do we think there is today?
Taylor Ward, 43. I know you mentioned all the outfielders. Dominguez. I mean, look, if Bubic is not, if Bubic does come back to earth, Dominguez 3-run double. He was 3 for 3 on the Tuesday slate. Soler, Campbell, Alex Call's been really good.
I think Soler's gonna be very popular.
Yeah,
Lefty.
and Ward, right?
Yeah.
Both of them in the middle of that, middle to top of the lineup. They're going to be
Yeah.
super, super popular.
Agreed. Let's see. Lourdes. Again, I mentioned Stowers. Stowers, again, a guy with a really good Statcast page right now. He some big power numbers in the minor leagues. It's just that Baltimore had too many guys. They couldn't play everybody, but 98 percentile barrel rate, 93 percentile hard hit, 84 percentile bat speed, expected WOBA 388, expected slugging is almost 500. I mean, yeah, we're playing font, I think, due to lack of other viable plays, but there are definitely some lefty bats in Miami that could be putting some numbers up here. Joe Adele, again, we mentioned Soler, Ward, and Trout, but Adele obviously has some power. Alec Thomas has been good.
He has been good. Where
else we think from the value range?
Kerstead homered the other day for the first time. Can't play Tommy Pham. He's been bad. Dylan Cruz, horrible.
Did have a stolen base today. Yeah, maybe.
He's been horrible. Pajes will probably be hitting 9th. McCarthy's been horrible.
Austin Hayes is 2,800, and he hit 5th today and homered.
Yeah, that was projected too. They love. I remember seeing the projected lineup begin the year, and it was Gavin Lux, Austin Hayes, right in the middle of the Reds lineup. I was like, how is this gonna work? How are the Reds gonna win? But if that's gonna be the lineup,
I would click a $2,800 Austin Hayes sitting in the middle of that lineup.
It's better than Blake Dunn hitting second, John. I'll tell you that. So
Brooks Dunn is a terrible player.
He definitely would rank second on our Brooks power rankings. Lee first, and
that's for sure. Let's see. That's probably it. We don't need to go too much further down here. All right. Let's figure out what we're going to do with pitching. Do we think Beto is an actual option for us?
Yes. It's the White Sox effect, right? So, but we spent the same amount of. We spent 10 minutes on Bobby Miller.
I know.
And he has not been a major league pitcher. And as Valdo Beto, as flawed as he is, has been, and he gets an equally bad offense.
I'm not confidently clicking on almost anybody else here, though.
Totally agree. You laid out a lot of reasons as to why.
And Beto has a very good chance of also not being good.
Correct. He might just be Osvaldo Beto.
Might be Osvaldo Beto. Yeah. I want just 13 fantasy points out of him. So is it like that?
Brandon fought Osvaldo Beto.
Chase strikeout upside with some of these guys.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you want, then don't play fought.
Well,
you're not missing any bats this year.
Well, they're missing
the Marlins are missing the Marlins.
High strikeout versus righties.
Yeah.
Because Mervis still strikes out a lot and things like that.
Sure.
I wouldn't know where else really to go. But I said Parker against Pittsburgh, I guess, would be the play at 79. But we'll ride this for now, and we'll have some more
agreed
thoughts at the 5
thought out hour. Thoughts down for some thought out thoughts for sure.
Down for some thought out thoughts.
Get some go get Rengifo. Yeah. Now the unfortunate part is this is the unfortunate part.
Okay.
I actually think third is a really good position, and I would typically just tell you to plug in Mundo Sosa, but I think it's not that simple.
Well, I mean, I'm good with going a little mini Seattle stack if you wanted to go blanc there.
I did. And I like, and J-Rod is only $5,000
I know.
Guy has a dude, he just has a high ceiling. He just has a really high ceiling.
I agree.
Also, it's a super small sample, but like smashing on the road just can't hit anything at home. Like it's just kind of like death taxes. What happens in Seattle is what happens. Like it's just the unfortunate reality.
Just plugging in Soderstrom, or do we test the lefty creamer play, or do we go like Soderstrom here? Like, do we think Kyle Manzardo can get it done, or do we just ride the hotter player? And I mean,
I know.
We're not saving a bunch of money either.
I like Soderstrom here. I think Soderstrom makes a lot of sense against Jonathan Cannon.
Okay.
Especially if we wake up and we see the ballpark's 20-mile-an-hour winds, we're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's a good one.
So we had where's Soler? Soler's 42.
I will say, like, I would definitely like if we could find a way to maybe get some Boston in here too.
Get Boston, okay.
Yeah, Zach Littell in Tampa in Great American in Winnie Hutt Jr. out there. Like, I mean,
we do Story. We can. We do Story, and then we have $6,200 to play whoever we want.
Trout.
I mean, that gives us Soler, Trout, Rengifo. We have a one-off Hayes for $2,800. Two-man Seattle. Soderstrom's a one-off play. Story's a one-off play.
It's not. We don't have to. We don't have to do Story. Like if you don't feel comfortable doing Story, because Shortstop is also like.
I like the ballpark. We just talked about Littell being pretty bad. So,
well, how about this? Would you do like if we spent up instead of Trout and we use another like either like Taylor Ward or Adele, and then we spent up at short? I think Ward probably gets us De La Cruz.
Do a little Hayes De La Cruz play.
That probably has a little bit higher of a ceiling, right?
Than Trout Story, probably.
Just ceiling.
Yeah, I mean Ward's been home running like every game. So.
And Ellie is what Ellie is in his home and in his home ballpark, right? Like there's more correlation in this one too.
There is. All right. Beto, Font, Rowley, Soderstrom, Rengifo, Polanco, De La Cruz, Soler, Hayes, and Ward for our early preview lineup. Let us know what you guys think, who you guys are playing. And we'll be back again at 5 p.m. Eastern time to do it all over again with the latest news, updates, and lineups to get you guys ready for Wednesday's main slate that starts again at 6:35 p.m. Eastern time. Good luck with your research. We'll see you later.